My topic is brand engagement and detail explain, and let's go to the topic and let's go to the start. Brand engagement is a marketing strategy that focuses on building a strong emotional connection between a brand and its audience. It involves creating experiences and interactions that inspire customers to connect with a brand on a deeper level, resulting in increased loyalty and advocacy. Effective brand engagement involves creating content that resonates with customers, delivering exceptional customer service, and actively listening to and responding to customer feedback. Brands that engage their customers in a meaningful way are more likely to build long-term relationships and drive revenue growth. Brand engagement is the bond a brand will forge with consumers. Stronger brand engagement means better customer loyalty, retention, and exposure. Brand engagement is how people form relationships with your brand. This engagement doesn't stop after the initial interaction. Instead, it will be measured on how your brand connects and forms emotional connections with employees or customers over time. Creating interest through initial marketing is just the beginning. If you're able to develop an effective brand engagement strategy, you'll ensure an emotional attachment that will attract and retain customers, leading to guaranteed sales. Brand engagement is the process of building and sustaining a commitment to a brand from its customers. This is one of the most important marketing goals for every business. It allows companies to constantly interact with customers and increase their brand loyalty. How does your brand connect with its audience? Brand engagement is more than just establishing first contact with a potential customer. It's about creating an emotional connection or a fulfilling transactional relationship over time. External brand engagement is the bond that forms between your business and the public. This can include your target audience of potential customers, existing customers, and the general public who might encounter your brand. Often, brands believe this is the only way in which they engage with an audience. Internal brand engagement is the connection with your employees or stakeholders. Employee engagement can be just as important as external engagement for building your brand. Everywhere. The digital transformation in the past 2 years has emphasized this, with consumers engaging with brands across multiple channels, online and offline. Social media channels, emails and other marketing outreach, internal communications, digital and offline advertising, events. Your audiences might interact with you on only one channel or across several, meaning you'll need an omni-channel brand engagement strategy to be most effective. Brand engagement refers to the creation of emotional and rational attachments between consumers and brands. These attachments create brand loyalty over time, making those consumers more likely to make repeat purchases and more willing to recommend the brand to others. Internal brand engagement is the emotional connection employees, investors, partners, suppliers, intermediaries, and other stakeholders have with a company's brand. It drives alignment, loyalty, and general culture. External brand engagement means the interactions that your customers have with your brand. It involves customer emotion and loyalty attached to your brand. As people come into contact with your brand, they engage with your brand in places called touchpoints. These are simply opportunities for interaction. Seemingly small interactions can have a powerful impact on the relationship between your business and customer. Is the connection employees or shareholders form with a brand? Internal brand engagement is very important because if employees or shareholders don't believe in the brand they are associated with, there isn't much hope of consumers establishing a strong relationship either. External brand engagement is the relationship that forms between consumers and a brand. External brand engagement consists not only of existing customers but also of potential customers and any of the general public that might come into contact with your brand. Is arguably the most important aspect of brand engagement, as customers are ultimately the ones who will bring success to a brand. Consumer engagement can be either rational or emotional, and over time will lead to brand loyalty. Brand engagement can be defined through different interactions customers make with a brand. Some examples are retail environments, advertising, word-of-mouth marketing, social media, websites and online interactions, the product itself. Companies put a lot of effort into making these connections with customers because increasing engagement with their consumers helps influence perception. These interactions also help to increase the knowledge consumers have over particular brands. Some companies even go the extra mile. Motorcycle brand Harley-Davidson even promotes events where multiple owners can meet up and share their vehicles with one another. Events such as these help to increase customer engagement, and allow consumers to form a deeper relationship with the brand. It means high client engagement. This is the first and most obvious benefit of building brand engagement. A well-thought strategy along with a set of effective techniques will help you interact with users on social networks, messengers, and via email campaigns. As a result, you'll build a great community around your brand. It allows companies to increase both customer retention and loyalty. If you take care of your clients' needs and preferences, ask their opinion about your brand, and do your best to ensure a positive user experience, you will certainly be rewarded. Customers will pay you back with their loyalty. As you know, it's a lot easier to sell to an existing client than to a recently acquired lead. It helps boost sales. This benefit comes as a result of the previous point. The level of customer engagement directly affects the number of sales. Users buy not brands' products but. In this post I'll provide a strategic definition for brand engagement that addresses a major weakness in current brand engagement approaches. My goal is to reorient and restructure brand engagements into strategic engagements where they can deliver maximum customer value and competitive advantage. As part of this discussion we'll move the brand playing field from inside the customer's cluttered mind to the fresh air of the outside world. That's a more strategic place where brand-driven value creation and innovation spell the difference between winners and losers. At the heart of this new approach is a new definition, and metaphor, for brand engagement. We all know how one gear engages another to set things in motion, see above. I'll use the gear metaphor to help explain how brands engage customers. We'll see that the primary purpose of brand engagement is to move the customer and the company forward. With this model of engagement we can 1. Advance customers beyond the reach of competitors, and 2. Create new market opportunities where the company and its customers can co-create new value. These add up to a big win-win. The current approach to brand engagements falls short because it isn't designed for strategic advantage. It's typically a shallow persuasion approach that begins and ends with trying to sell perceptions of the brand. Parts of it seem inspired by propaganda techniques. It's aimed to influence customer attitudes and feelings, in hopes of winning customer minds and generating brand loyalty. As a brand engagement, its worldview is that very narrow space between the customer's ears. Unfortunately, this approach undervalues brands, it aims too low. It ignores the first principle of brands, which is that brands are company potential x customer potential. Moreover, it ignores strategies for creating new customer value. Instead, it often reduces brand engagements to commodity interactions, easy pleasantries, token gestures or common rewards which have nothing special, or strategic, about them. Competitors copy the same sets of engagements, and soon everyone is back to square one in the same engagement stew. Reducing brands to this level is a great loss to the companies behind the brands, and to their customers. The current approach treats customers as a separate species from the company, as if they're solely to be targeted and sold to. This separation warps the engagement process and precludes it from effective strategies for teaming and collaboration. It positions customers as an audience of followers. This positioning limits the depth of proactive customer engagement and restricts the value customers can add back to the brand. Bottom line, less brand value, and less brand innovation. It considers brand engagements as a means of persuasion, not as a means of delivering value, or of co-creating value with customers. Worst case, this approach tries to sell brand emotions as a substitute for delivering better products or services. Solutions to their problems, so the goal is to persuade a client that cooperation with this particular brand will bring them the benefits they want. It facilitates the improvement of products and services. If a brand manages to build trusting relationships with its customers, it will result not only in high sales but in collecting valuable feedback. Clients are happy to help their favorite brands grow and improve. Your task, as a marketer, is to use various channels and techniques to interview clients. They include surveys, polls, quizzes, feedback forms, etc. You may reward customers for feedback shared with a discount or any other offer. Now you know why brands invest a lot in building relationships with their community. Very often brand engagement and brand awareness go hand in hand. Let's find out the differences between these terms. Brand engagement and customer engagement are similar, but they connect with audiences in different ways. Brand engagement pulls consumers to the business, usually with larger outreach campaigns. Customer engagement pushes consumers toward taking an action, such as purchasing a product. Both are important for your sales funnel, but come at different stages. Brand engagement is usually more top of funnel and is distinguished in how the audience can include people who are unaware of the brand and have never purchased from it. Successful brand engagement can be transformative. From spreading brand awareness to improving the employee experience, to increasing your revenue, creating a lasting emotional attachment between your brand and its audiences pays dividends. Here are some of how brand engagement can be an asset to your business. Increasing word-of-mouth marketing and brand awareness. The best marketing is marketing you don't have to pay for. If customers feel like they have a strong relationship with your brand, they'll talk about you, and spread the word to others in their network. With better brand engagement, awareness and loyalty will grow. Think of brands you are partial to and what it is you like specifically about them. Quite often products we like will speak for themselves in terms of quality, but even if you have the best product on the market, it's still important to focus on brand engagement. It will boost customer engagement. This is probably the most important aspect of building brand engagement. In today's modern age, factors like social media and online advertising mean extra avenues for engaging with both current and potential customers. Email and text campaigns are also additional ways you can engage with clients. Putting in the work in these areas will allow you to build a strong community around your brand. It increases both customer retention and loyalty. Today's market is highly competitive, and if you miss a hurdle, another company will likely pounce on dissatisfied customers. A thorough and well-thought-out engagement strategy means taking care of clients' needs and preferences. If you make an effort to keep in touch with current customers, you will likely be rewarded with retention and loyalty. It's always easier to sell new products to existing customers compared to potential ones. It will lead to more sales. The level of customer engagement will improve the likelihood of customer satisfaction, and ultimately improve sales. In today's market, competition is rife, so any brand that goes above and beyond to improve relationships with customers will likely lead the way in sales, provided the products are able to back it up. It provides insight into how products and services can be improved. If a brand is able to form trusting relationships with customers, those customers will be better able to provide trusted feedback as to how current products or services can be improved. If customers trust a brand, they are more likely to want to see that brand grow. Trusted customers will let a brand know both what they are doing well, and what needs improvement. Through surveys, polls, feedback forms, and comments on social media, a brand will gather all the information it needs to improve in vital areas. Customer retention and loyalty can also be improved further here by rewarding customers for their participation through giveaways and discounts. With the points listed above, it's easy to see why effective brand management and constantly aiming to improve brand engagement leads to greater popularity for your brand, and an undoubted improvement in sales. Both terms belong to the key concepts of brand marketing. This approach implies reaching several objectives each brand needs to pursue to be successful. They include brand awareness, brand engagement, brand loyalty, brand advocacy, brand equity, brand identity, and brand image. Brand awareness comes first when designing your brand strategy. It requires marketing activities aimed at raising awareness of your brand. Potential clients should be able to recognize your brand among competitors and recall your products. In other words, if they find a need for a product they haven't used before, your company's name should be the first to come to people's minds. Brands invest a lot in advertising on various channels to achieve this goal. After you build brand awareness, you should work on increasing brand engagement. Users need to be interested in your company to make a purchase. So, let them interact with you on several channels, let them know that their opinion matters. The higher your brand engagement, the better the relationship with your audience, resulting in more sales. Internet marketing opportunities are only limited by your creativity. A great variety of channels, content formats, and tools that are available today let every brand find the best fit for their audience. In this section, we'll share proven practices that will help you boost your brand engagement. Ways to measure brand engagement. As we are starting to see, successful brand engagement is vital to success in the business world today. If you're able to get your brand to the forefront of consumer minds when searching for a specific product, you'll have an unquestioned advantage over the competition. But how do you know if your brand is forming the connections you want it to? A failure to understand where you're winning or losing can leave holes that the competition will fill. To increase brand engagement, you'll need to differentiate yourself and resonate with your consumers. Salesforce found that 64% of customers expect tailored engagements based on their past interactions with a brand. Implementing brand engagement strategies means becoming more aware of your consumers' opinions and preferences, which in turn helps you to provide a better customer experience and build a bond between you and them. Increasing cart size and sales. By showing that your brand can meet consumer needs, they'll be much more likely to engage with you and spend. Our own research has flagged that more than 60% of consumers think brands need to care more about them, and they're willing to spend more if they feel cared for. Improving employee experience. Your brand's reputation doesn't just affect your customers' opinion of you, it also affects what your employees and other stakeholders think of you too. Gallup research has found that meaning they are clear on what's expected of them, feel there are opportunities to develop and that their opinions count. Getting your employees engaged with the brand can help you to retain staff, garner positive reviews of your working environment and corporate culture that can attract higher quality hires in the future. Strengthening your competitive edge. Why do customers choose your brand over your competition? It's not just because they're aware of your brand, it's because of your reputation. When your business has a reputation for great customer engagement, it gives you a competitive edge over other companies that might have a recognizable name, but no attached reputation for strong customer relationships or brand values. There is not only a single method of measuring engagement via social media. Have a think about what matters most to your brand. Through social media, you are able to measure the amount of mentions received, numbers of comments on specific posts, reels, or articles, and the amount of hits on brand-specific hashtags. Keeping track of how many email subscribers you have is another method of showing how interested consumers are in your brand. There are also third-party tools such as WriteInbox available that will provide opportunities to manage your email subscribers and monitor important email statistics such as subscribers and the rate at which emails are opened. Website effectiveness. Your brand's website is often the front page of your story, and having an effective and appealing page is a must in today's competitive market. Having a stunning website is the first half of the battle, but how do you really know its effectiveness? Google Analytics is a wonderful tool for monitoring how much traffic your site is receiving. The more visitors your website receives, the greater exposure and engagement your brand will receive. Using tools to dive deeper into the effectiveness of your website will enable you to see details such as whether potential customers are reaching your site via Google search, or by typing in the URL of your site directly. You'll also be able to see specific geographic locations where your brand is receiving the highest levels of engagement. Branded search terms. Branded search terms can be anything from the names of specific products to the name of your brand. Using tools such as Google Trends, you'll be able to effectively monitor how search terms related to your brand and products are being used, and how frequently this is happening. Measuring how much your brand is searched for either across the internet or via social media is a fantastic way to measure the level of brand engagement you are achieving across your digital platforms. Backlinks. If you're able to expand enough to be included on other websites or social media pages, you'll start to notice backlinks to your brand pages. Backlinks are a great sign of increasing brand engagement, and various third-party tools are available that will show you how many backlinks are being included, as well as exactly where those links are coming from. In a highly competitive world, there are a few brands out there leading the pack in brand engagement. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe the channel.